be me.
Just for you. That's exactly what we want on the BWN TV show. So welcome everybody to our second show. This one obviously is going to be far more serious and grown up. It's just not. If you saw our first episode with Nigel Wisnell, we had a laugh and we shared some top tips and ideas to help you in these really challenging times. Putting two international coaches and authors together was dangerous. If you haven't watched that, go to the BWN TV page on our site. Help yourself. There's 19 minutes where you will laugh, get sore cheeks, but learn something really useful to help you in these tough times. And Nigel very kindly gave us all a special offer, even if he did use a bit of a naughty. And he used a naughty discount code. It was something like Essex Girls. I was like, I'll have you know our members are around the world. So I'm really pleased to say that today I'm with Isobel from IJC Accounting, and Isobel was supposed to be my first guest because it is tough times and we are all really frightened about what's going to happen when you come out of this. Will it be the same? Do we have to do things differently? And Isobel has been an amazing resource to all of our members, both at events and on the insiders. And just when we get the updates from the Cabinet Office, we get them on the website, we share them on our social media. And then Isobel jumps in and goes, right, let me tell you what this means. So I'm really pleased to welcome you today, Izzy. Thank you so much for coming on here. Isobel has a very cute little girl who has been turning up in events. How are you finding it?
The whole situation that we find ourselves in, up and down, mostly good. You know, there's I think there's lots of positives coming from this situation as well. Actually spending time with family is really something that I think you're not taking for granted. Okay, some days you might want to strangle them, but most of the time it's a good thing. Yes, my little helper is downstairs.
On average, I only want to strangle my daughter once a month.
Normally, it's nowhere near as much. So.
Do you think your attitude changed from like the start of lockdown? Because I know that in April, our figures dropped for attendance at events as people kind of hid their head in the sand, and then we've seen them just go through the roof. So many new people signing up to the insiders and getting a golden ticket for the rest of the year. Do you think people's attitudes to trying to network and the possibility the doorbell will go or the dog will come in, their attitudes have changed to it?
Yeah, well, I think at the beginning, a lot of people, well, they were in panic mode, weren't they? I think myself included. And you're kind of, you don't really know what's the best thing to do. What do I do first? How can I get through this? But like you say, people, they start rethinking what they can do with their business, and therefore, I suppose, in order to do that, they will realise, actually, I need to start meeting some people and talking to people. And there are lots of occasions where I'm at events where I'm not on my own, because I have a little friend come in to see me, and it can be very distracting when you're cutting out like rainbows and things like that. But that's just having to adapt to the situation we're in, I think. But yeah, it's good to see people trying to evolve to kind of a way of working that is more virtual, really. I think it's given people an opportunity to really think how they can move their business online as well.
Yeah. So for you, what's the kind of questions that you've been fielding from your customers? What's the top things that you're able to say to them? Look, guys, right now in these times, you really need to be doing this. What have you been sharing with your customers?
Well, there's I've had quite a lot of questions about good old furlough scheme, because I know there are lots of businesses out there who are taking advantage of that if they have got staff on the payroll. Some businesses are fortunate enough to have been able to continue, others are having to furlough some of their staff, and therefore are accessing government grants for that. I've also been talking to people about the I have to remember, just sort of have the acronym in my head, the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme, which is kind of came live yesterday, I believe, where you can go if you're self-employed to access the funding, and I've had lots of questions about that as well. But actually, quite a few of the people I've spoken to, my clients, have, like I just said, have actually been thinking outside the box a bit more, and they've been coming to me with new ideas of things they're going to do with their business now that things have changed. Oh, I'm about to set up an online shop to do this, that, and the other, and how can that integrate with the system I'm using at the moment, and getting funding through some of these government loans as well. So actually they are, I think, like I said before, there are some good things coming out of it, giving people a chance to sit and think about how they can make changes to their business. So most of my experiences have been quite positive, but there are others who can't work at the moment, and therefore haven't been able to access any funding, unfortunately. But
yeah, I mean, for those people that have been struggling to access funding, obviously as an insider, you'll know we've got in place quite a few things to support people. I've even done it so they can have an affiliate link and sell my courses.
Yeah.
So, and it's really lovely how people are coming together and saying, look, if thinking outside the box is just too much for you right now, why don't you sell this for me? And that's that. I love the camaraderie that it's creating, that people are like, I just had a call from somebody, hello, I was like, oh, you're all right? Yeah, I just phoning to check you're all right. And I was like, oh, people don't normally do that for me, thank you. And we just had a great little chat, and actually came up with an idea that they hadn't heard of, and I said, oh, you can do this, did you know? Oh no, I didn't know I could do that. So I think we're kind of bonding even more as business owners, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because people are always seem more willing to help other people. I'm not saying people never did before, but people seem to be coming up with ideas. Oh, why don't you try this out? You thought of trying giving that a go with your business at this time, and oh yeah, I never really thought of doing that before. So these kind of it's not so much about competition. It's about people trying to help each other now.
A perfect example was that at the event last week. I watched, you got 30 people on the screen, and I watched 2 Tropic ambassadors. If you don't know, Tropic is a beautiful skincare range. And I watched these 2 Tropic ambassadors actually tell each other what was working for them so they could help each other. And what I loved best of all was afterwards, someone messaged me and said, oh, I'm going to go and buy some products from Jill, but I felt really bad for Lisa. So what I'm going to do is buy from Jill this month, and I'm going to buy from Lisa next. And I just thought, how amazing is that? That they're not just buying from people on the network, they're actually thinking, how can I support the other ones too? I was just blown away.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us to the other side of your business, because as well as being a very sensible accountant, this is my serious
face. Very sensible. This is my serious face.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have a serious face. I've tried one of them. I just look,
I definitely don't have a serious face. No. I'm the sort of person who was on a networking call yesterday. I had my phone in a phone mount, it fell over, I turned it around, people just seeing the ceiling, and then I got referred to as the naughty one from the Zoom call. So
well done. That's always my ambition.
I'm making impressions everywhere.
Well, Nigel, for the last episode, he was talking about those, you have to be looking at the screen and not down, and a lot of people look at their face, don't they? And you're like, stop eyeing yourself up, your hair's lovely, look at the camera. And he was saying, unfortunately, some people have an RBF. I said, an RBF, what's that? And he went, a resting bee face. And he said, and you get a whole room of people on your screen, and there's one person there like that. You just think, you look really bored.
And then you think, oh.
Yeah. They're not actually bored. It's just, So luckily for you, I always find this fascinating about you, because to be an accountant, you've got to be so clever, personally, for someone who's not an accountant. And then you have this other side of your business that's not accountancy at all. Tell us a bit about that.
It's weird. I don't know if it's because when I was at university, I was training to be a sound engineer. I went to work in a recording studio, so I did partly music in my degree, and that's very kind of seen as quite a creative thing, I suppose, having that side. And a lot of people who actually went to study music, I've been told, have ended up being in insurance or an accountant, all that kind of stuff. So it's obviously something in the brain, as well as having that creative side. I don't know the detail. I love the detail, and I'm very precise, but I also have a love for colours, makeup. It pretty much, I think it's, well, pretty much, yeah, I promote and love makeup. Firstly, because I've always had to wear it, because being of the, I don't know, I'd say ginger, others would try and skirt around it by saying strawberry blonde or auburn, like ginger. Just come out and say it. I've always had to have something to actually, you could see my eyebrows and my eyelashes, and so it's something I've always had to use. And after I had my daughter, there was a bit of a time there, which I think a lot of women go through, when you're feeling like you've lost yourself a little bit. You're not really you anymore. That's kind of, I felt like I needed to be something else other than just mum and just going to work every day. So I ended up getting involved in makeup sales, which I just bought a makeup kit and decided that I really wanted to try the products out, and started sharing them with friends and realised they liked them as well. And then voila, here we are. Just really love the stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I know it's not the normal business combination that you would find. I don't know how many accountants are out there who are promoting makeup as well. There should be some kind of special niche that I fall into. I don't quite know which one it is. A special club that I am in. But yeah, there is a, when I say that slight creative side, I'm not saying that I'm a creative accountant before people start to think anything.
Oh no, don't want creative accountancy. That's very that's a whole level of naughty we don't want to go near.
I know. No. I know. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I ended up doing both, but I love both, really. I love doing the job that I do in accounting. Complete numbers nerd, but proud of that. And love I suppose it can be seen as a little bit of a girly obsession with makeup, but it's actually just something I love because it makes me feel more confident and empowered, I guess, as well. That's just the way it makes me feel.
That's a really good point, isn't it? Because there's this amazing picture of Isobel at an event earlier in lockdown, and there you are in the middle of the shot, and Anne Thomas, one of our photographers, has captured this beautiful picture of you, and you just look amazing. Yeah, absolutely incredible picture. Do you have, I mean, because one of the things I think that stops people from networking online is that lack of confidence. How do I act? What should I wear? You know, should I do my makeup differently? What would you say to people that are thinking, I really want to do this, but I'm kind of scared to do it? What would you say to them is top tips for you?
For me, so when I started doing the makeup sales, I realised I had to start doing live videos on Facebook to start promoting it. And before that, I was thinking, oh my God, you know, I can't show people what my face looks like without makeup on it before. And I was very worried about the way I looked. I don't mean now that I'm completely vain and I love myself, but I've got over, I think, I've got to a point now where I feel comfortable just being me. And just, this is, take it or leave it, this is what I am. Okay, I might have a bit scary eyebrows one day, or my lipstick might be completely bright red. But it's, I think with networking, you just have to be you, because that's, people connect with people, don't they? And it doesn't matter what you look like. This is just what I love to do, and yeah, just be brave and just join in and see what happens, I think.
I think that's what I like about the BWN, is there's no pretense. It's we don't care if whatever's going on. You don't have to wear your makeup. Just turn up and be yourself, and we'll help you grow whatever it is you've got. So, I mean, when we think about COVID, sorry to talk about that horrible subject, but the information, there's so much information, and it seems to change, like you say, so often. What would your advice be for people who are thinking, I love it. Oh, I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Jessica,
painting.
Jessica allowed
Look at these hands.
Jessica, those hands are amazing. Do you know you're on telly right now? Do you know you're on telly?
I thought they were gloves. That's actually paint. I hope Daddy has got the soap ready. You're going to go and wash your hands before you touch anything.
I've already touched Daddy's face.
It happens.
Love that, and I really love that. I know that the first event
comes towards you with red hands.
Yeah, you've got a white top on. Ah!
I know.
Yeah, thanks, darling. It's 20 minutes.
Yeah, thanks for that. So where are you going to put those hands?
It's when you go at the office, there's little hands all the way through the house for you.
Yes, on these white walls. I do apologise though, I missed what you were asking me, because of course I was suddenly aware that she was creeping up behind me, sorry.
Guys, red hands coming towards a white top on live TV.
I know, I was thinking I'm not even listening anymore, Mandy.
And I have good reason too. And nice to meet you, Jessica. It is okay that she features on the show, yes?
Yes.
Good.
I think she loved that.
It's nice to check. We really want to be respectful of people and their children. No, what I was saying was, with so much information out there, and the information seems to change so often, I know we get the brief from the Cabinet Office, and we keep up to date on what local councils are saying, and we get that information out to all our members. But when there's so much information, what would you say that business owners should be doing so that they don't get overloaded and know that they're doing the best that they can?
It's tricky because, I find when you go onto Facebook, there's so much that people will share, which is a lot of it is opinion rather than fact. And or maybe something that was relevant 3 weeks ago that isn't necessarily the case anymore. So really just looking out for updates that the government themselves have provided. I mean, I'm sharing these updates myself, which of course people might then turn around and think, well, you're sharing them, how do I know that what you're sharing is legitimate? But I make sure that when I'm looking for information, for example, I get all the emails through from government websites, and I go on to the government sites to check what they're saying. Just bear with me.
It's fine. It's fine. If you want to shut the door though, feel free. And do you know what? I kind of love that. You feel free to shut the door. I kind of love that Isobel's going to shut the door, because this is what BWN TV is about. It's about real business owners coming on here, sharing their advice, telling you about their passion for business, and doing it in a way that's just genuine. And I love
wearing their gym leggings at the same time.
Yeah, I did get caught out. I had on at the weekend I wear shorts and leggings. Yeah, like I'm still 12. Well, maybe I still am. And I got caught out because I had the top on and a jacket, and then I had to get up and shut the door, and the client went, "You're wearing shorts?" I was like,
At least there is proof I am wearing trousers, because some people might be wondering.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. But no, I think I love the fact that you're so genuine with us, and I think the more that we get to see this in business, this isn't going away very fast for any of us, and many of us will stay working online possibly even for the rest of 2020. So knowing that you can do that and get up and shut a door and say, darling, would you mind washing your red hands?
I should have said, go put the kettle on, not to her, but to my husband. Go and get me a cup of tea.
I do like that. You're just working away and all of a sudden you get this coming in shot and it's like...
It just appears, yeah.
Brilliant. To be honest, there's elements of lockdown I think I'm actually going to miss. I mean, for me, I do most of my coaching in nice swanky hotels, in nice meeting rooms and big corporate, conference tables, and it's cool. It's a cool way of working. But I'm saving £300 a month on coffee.
Yeah, I've realised. Well, firstly, do I even know how to drive anymore? I'm not driven. I mean, I've driven to Tesco, which, to be fair, I live on the same road as Tesco. I've only driven there because I thought I can't carry all the alcohol home. I couldn't carry everything to go in the car. But yeah, saving on all the petrol. But also, it's been nice actually having somebody else in the house as well, even though there's times when me and my husband will say, oh, we've got to try and entertain her and and work at the same time. Once she does go back to school, once my husband does go back to work, I think I'll probably will be desperate to get out there and meet people, because otherwise I'll be sat on my own behind a computer for a lot of the time. So
no, I think that the clever people are stopping isolation by having these conversations, and it makes a difference. So before we wrap up today, I did warn you that BWN TV was going to be sensible and grown up, and clearly, Isobel, thank you so much for continuing what we started with Nigel, with the sensible grown up telly. I said it was going to be a cross between Blue Peter and the One Show for business women. With that in mind, and seeing Jessica, the beautiful young lady on our screens this afternoon, I want to set you all a challenge. If you've got little ones watching, give them a piece of A4 paper and say nothing more than go and make something with it. They may want to write their favourite recipe that they've done. For me, it is most definitely Paul Hollywood's baguette. Oh, baguette. I mean, I'm not getting to France. Paul Hollywood, look him up. Good recipe. It might be write a recipe. If you do, take a photo, stick it on the BWN social media, particularly Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram. You might decide to make a hat. You might decide to draw us a picture. You might decide to cover your hands in red paint and just make some wrapping up paper. Whatever you decide to do, kids, get involved. Give that piece of paper, mums and dads, to your children. And next week we'll do our best I'll take photos, at least 3 or 4, and I will hold them up professional One Show style at the end, and we'll give you a shout out. You could even turn it into a boat, couldn't you? You know those little cute boats that kids make? Yeah, so if that floats your boat, do that.
Very funny. I thought you did there.
I see what I did there. Almost as if this isn't completely made up as I go along. And I'm sure Jessica will get involved. And
oh, definitely she will.
So in the old world, when we used to actually go to beautiful venues for our networking events, Isobel, you come to our West Street Vineyard events in Cobbleshall, just outside Braintree. Absolutely stunning location. So they're the events you traditionally see Izzy at, but it's wonderful now because we can go and network in Warwickshire and be here in Essex. And I'm just going to network with everyone in London. Okay, great. And I didn't even have to get on the train.
Yeah, it's that is definitely one of the benefits of being able to do these. You can connect with more people, although obviously the physical aspects of just kind of general picking up on human interaction is lost slightly there, isn't it? But one day we'll be back to it. So.
Actually, it's not lost. Now, as a coach, I can coach people on the phone and still capture those tiny little mannerisms that they think are only visual clues. And it's, I think we might see more people learning this content. You'll see I deliberately bring my hands up, because otherwise we just look quite stationary. And so for me, I am very motivational, I'm all over the shot, so I will bring my hands up and bring them into shot. And I think you'll find that more people get the hang of it. As I said earlier, a lot of people look down at themselves because it's your natural instinct to go and look at the eyes, but it means you're not looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And I think more and more we'll get used to it, and those subtle clues that you get in general conversation, it's often called gut instinct. You know how someone sounds amazing at a networking event and you don't sign up? It's probably gut instinct, and it's probably the subtleties of the way that person acts that stops you from buying. And they do still exist in online networking. It's just more of a challenge to be able to see them and understand what they mean. So it's going to be interesting times. What would be your leaving thing to say to our viewers today?
Who wants a mascara? I'm joking.
Oh, good one. Not seen, you have to share to the BWN page. This is like the coolest marketing ever. It's why I really like Unique's mascara, because you're encouraged, aren't you, to do this thing where you have one eye with Unique mascara and one eye with no mascara, and you end up getting really close to the screen trying to, that really hurt eyelash. It's amazing. Sorry, I love clever marketing, and that is seriously cool.
I was walking around this morning, I was practicing, that's the thing, because I was thinking, well, I've got to put my makeup on anyway, so I was practicing trying to do half a face of makeup this morning just to see the differences. But then I got distracted and forgotten I'd only done one half of the face. Luckily I didn't have any calls or anything, but my husband did, you know, it's one of those, I had one eye of, well, of this, and the other was just like my, I'm tired, bring me coffee face. And he looked at me, and but that's the thing, is he couldn't quite work out what was wrong.
Oh, well, this is perfect timing to say goodbye. And goodbye. Do you still have red hands?
They are still quite red, I'd say.
Pinky. Yeah.
Not as red as they were.
Well, Jessica, I look forward to seeing you at a networking event soon. And you can bring your teddies. Jessica set up a lovely little teddy bear shop, didn't you, at one of our events, and you played so nicely. So I look forward to seeing you at another event soon. Thank you so much, Isobel. Thank you so much. And we'll see you at an event soon.